Hi, my name is Dennis and welcome to the Pile of Opportunity. This is the video for the first quarter of 2026. My last video was the last quarter of 2025 with a summary of how 2025 went, which was not the best. I try and buy less miniatures than I paint, both as a motivator to paint more and a motivator to buy less. Last year, not the greatest success. This year, we're gonna try again. So, in this quarter, I'm still struggling with hobby burnout, but I did manage to get paint on some models, quite a few actually, quite proud. So let's dive right into it. The first thing I painted this quarter were 5 dwarf warriors with hand weapon and shield to round out the unit of 15 I already have painted to a nice crisp 20. After that, I went on to paint 5 dwarf hammerers to round out the unit I already have of 10 to 15. But after that, I got into the big boys. So, 20 dwarf warriors with great weapons. Really happy how I managed to get these done. Started off with a batch of 5. Got frustrated that there were so many little colors that I only needed a little bit of. But I switched up to a batch of 15 afterwards. And I had a ton of fun doing 15 at once. So, I guess batch painting sometimes can be my thing. Pretty cool. Then, I got the units done for my 2,000 point dwarf army, or most of them. There's still a little bit to go. Also painted a hero. The old metal dwarf king with 2 shield bearers. I know there are 3 metal on the base, but you know, old stuff is cool, so we'll stick with 2 guys on the base. And then I painted not 1, but 2 rune priests for my army. Not quite to 2,000 points yet. There's still 2 war machines I have to paint. And I'm still playing around with the last couple of points in the army. They might be Longbeards, they might be Iron Drakes, unsure. So that's why I haven't painted the rest of the 2,000 point army yet. At least I have some flexibility. If I play 1,000 points now, I can field everything but the war machines that I want to. And then take it from there, trying to figure out which war machines I want in my 2,000 point army and what other units I think would be good to add into the army. Alright, that finishes off part 1. Well, not entirely. How many miniatures total is left? So we've got 5 and 5 equals 10. Then we've got 20 more warriors, so 30. But I guess technically the dwarf king is only 1, so 31, and then 2 rune priests for 33 painted miniatures. I think that's pretty good for somebody with hobby burnout. We'll see how I do this quarter, because I'm still struggling a little bit. Now we're done with this segment, and we go off to what did I buy? Well, boys and girls, it's a good question. What did I buy? The first thing I bought this quarter was something on Marketplace. Somebody was selling 24 Tau drones for, I think it was $15-ish. I couldn't resist, so, you know, that's 24. Still counts as 24 models, even though they were cheap. And then Games Workshop turned around and they did a made-to-order of some really cool old Warriors of Chaos stuff. So, the classic Chaos Lord. 3 classic Chaos Sorcerers. One of these is the oldest model I own that I painted back when I was a teenager. All the other ones have disappeared, died, been stripped. But the oldest unstripped model I have is one of these. So I'm going to repaint, or I'm going to paint this one and then have a comparison, which I think is really cool to see how much has changed in the hobby, in my expertise, in the quality of products. Super cool. And then, I guess to round it all out, I also bought the last made to order, which was a Chaos Sorcerer with Familiar. That brings me up to 24, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 30 models. That's pretty good, because I'm still ahead. And then Games Workshop released some more Cafe, so I bought the book, which doesn't matter. But I also bought that one. So I'm 50 bottles over, because this is 53. I had 3 left in my 33. So yeah, I'm still happy, because I could have bought a lot more, but it's not shrinking the pile, so technically quite a big loss. 50 miniatures over. Still very happy. We'll see how this quarter goes. Up till now, they've only released and previewed one box that I really want, which is the new Imperial Guard box. I have resisted so far. We'll see if I make it the whole 2 weeks while it's up for pre-order. Don't come at me if I don't. Alright, back to painting for me, and hopefully back to painting for you. See you in the next video. Bye!